The Governor, His Excellency Gordon Weatherall, has appointed a disaster recovery board as well as a recovery task force, which, according to a press release from Government Information Services, will be responsible for overseeing the disbursement of funds donated to the Turks and Caicos Islands by the UK government for hurricane relief. The board was recently approved in the cabinet and will be chaired by Delton Jones, Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Finance.
Essentially, at that stage, what we're doing is actually, beginning the process of long-term recovery in Turks and Caicos. So the recovery task force consists of representatives of government departments, non-government organizations, civil society organizations, and the task of the group is to prepare a long-term recovery plan for Turks and Caicos.
The first recovery stage is defined by the United Nations Development Program as a multidimensional process of recovery that begins in a humanitarian setting. It is guided by development principles that seek to build on humanitarian programs and catalyze sustainable development opportunities. It aims to generate self-sustaining, nationally owned, resilient processes for post-crisis recovery. It encompasses the restoration of basic services, livelihoods, shelter, governance, security and rule of law, environment and social dimensions, including the reintegration of displaced populations.
Right now, what we are doing is finalizing a recovery plan, which I can say is about 98% complete. We hope to present the plan to the cabinet by the end of this month, and soon thereafter to present it, to the public so they can know that what the plan is about. And as I said, the plan is all about building back a more resilient Turks and Caicos so that when we have any future disaster events, we would be stronger. But it's also to help people repair their lives in a more resilient way.
According to the press release sent to News 4 regarding the early recovery stage, there are three broad aims: augmenting ongoing emergency assistance operations by building on humanitarian programs, supporting spontaneous recovery initiatives by affected communities, and establishing the foundations for longer-term recovery. With hurricane season just a short time away, Jones says this is something the board is keeping in mind.
What we are doing right now is also taking the same time to make sure all the shelters throughout the Turks and Caicos are up and ready for the season. We had a presentation this week on some of the housing solutions. That's a little more complicated, but again, what we hope to do is to start very soon to have a lot of work going on in the community. So essentially, the hurricane season is going to be here on the 1st of June. We have a limited amount of time, and we are committed to doing preparing for the season, getting the infrastructure back, and helping people with their housing solutions. So we have a lot of activity in a short period of time, making sure we are ready for the hurricane season.
Besides managing the donated funds, the board will be responsible for the control of agencies and individuals involved in the recovery process, provide relevant information to various users and stakeholders, and manage all recovery aid in a prudent, transparent, and accountable manner.